Indeed, Joanna, and it had to be a frightening experience for many, and this ordeal is not over yet. The conditions on the roadway went from bad to impossible very quickly. This video, shot by a stranded trucker on Highway 402, shows the treacherous conditions that brought traffic to a standstill.
I've driven on this road quite a few times, and I've never seen anything like this happen before. The snow just kept coming and coming, and the roads were icy, and everything just came to a standstill.
Ilya Kornobus was one of the 350 people stranded. Chopper 7 was over the 402 this morning, capturing these amazing pictures. Ilya was stuck in his vehicle for more than 24 hours before finally being rescued this afternoon. Ontario Provincial Police and volunteers needed snowmobiles to reach people. The Canadian military also used helicopters to airlift some to safety.
So they were pulling up the people that, had medical conditions and so on and so forth, young children, and then they just basically brought us onto the other side by snowmobile, popped us on these buses, and then they brought us into this lovely community. I'm actually in Plymouth, Wyoming. I'm at the Legion Hall here, and they've been very kind enough to start feeding us and, giving us drinks and, making sure that everyone has medical attention and that sort of thing. And we've been here ever since.
Ilya told me by phone the bus ride was strangely quiet, that people just seemed to be relieved to be safely out of their vehicles. And he said it was an eye-opening ride.
As we were driving west, passing all of the cars, there was snowdrifts that were just even worse than where I was, because we were in sort of a protected zone, and when you got out further where it was open, where the wind was blowing, there was 6-foot snowdrifts and 7-foot snowdrifts and trucks all over the place. When people think, oh, it's a state of emergency, it was really horrific, the amount of vehicles that were in this whole thing.
The closure of Highway 402 created a ripple effect backup at the border crossings. Long-distance trucks were not allowed to cross from Port Huron into Canada because of the conditions to the east of Sarnia. The backup extended to I-94. There was also a multi-mile backup on I-75, where vehicles were trying to enter Canada using the Ambassador Bridge. Now, Ilya says his vehicle and the other abandoned vehicles will be towed to central lots where they can eventually be claimed, but he expects that to be sometime tomorrow at the earliest because of all the work that remains. They've got to get that stretch of 45 miles of roadway plowed and reopened, and clearly it's a big task. The good news in all this, there apparently have been no reports of serious injuries. Dave Llewellyn, Channel 7 Action News. Joanne?
Really is.